Hello, word nerds. Welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer. I am your host, and I have a new little toy that Sharon Impulse bought for me. It's a beautiful burger, and it's plastic, so I won't eat it, and it's from Bobby's Burgers, and it goes like this. I think there's many many words and phrases on this thing from Bob's Burgers, and I haven't heard them all. But that I think is my favorite. In fact, right on the box, it's a picture of the family, and Linda goes, "All right." And oh, how perfect was that? That was the one that came up. Oh, my favorite. Okay, let's talk about the words. The first word in this episode is geranium. You could also say geranium. Yum. Geranium. Geranium-y. Geranium. It looks like it is an element on the periodic table. Geranium. Is it? I don't think so. Um, but I think it should be. Ooh, is there a periodic table of plants? All right, a geranium is a noun from 1548. Number one, any of a widely distributed genus of plants having regular, usually white, pink, or purple flowers with elongated styles and glands that alternate with the petals. It is called also crane's bill. And I am going to look up a picture of a geranium. Geranium. Let's look at these. Oh, they're popular, low maintenance, sun loving, good for hanging baskets, gardens. Yeah, cranesbill, that's the other name for it. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm tired. I got a bunch of sleep and I still did not want to get up. I think I just woke up at the wrong time of my sleeping cycle with my alarm. But yeah, we got purple geraniums, red, pink. What else are there? A light purple, a light blue kind of maybe. Ooh, those look like a deep red purple with white edges. Yep, let's post a picture of geraniums on the social media. So the genus is geranium of the family Geraniaceae. Geraniaceae. That is the geranium family, if you couldn't tell. Now we have number two. The synonym is pelargonium. Pelargonium? What is a pelargonium? Yeah, here we go. It's a plant. It's I guess it's a type of geranium, maybe. Very interesting petals. This picture has white petals that have a kind of a water drop shape, with these purple like streaks or veins or something. That's very cool. Pelargonium. Another name for geranium? Number three, a vivid or strong red is a geranium. Ooh, geranium red. Is my blood geranium red? I don't know. I think my blood is chartreuse. Okay, so this word is the Latin geranium, from the Greek geranion, which is from the word geranos, which means crane, and there's more at the word crane. But I don't remember that. So is this related to the bird crane? I believe when they were naming these things, there wasn't a machine called a crane, which would pick up things and put them on roofs of buildings, of skyscrapers, because they didn't really have those so much back then. It must be related to the bird. Here we go. Here's the crane. Let's see. These birds. What could be the connection? The Old High German Korano, which means crane, the Greek geranos, which I guess means crane. But what is the connection? Why did and then crane bill? So was crane bill the name, the first name of the geranium plant? Let's look up what is the connection between between geranium and crane. That's what we want to look up. Um, I just, the connection between geraniums and cranes is primarily rooted in etymology and botany, specifically the appearance of the plant's seed capsule. I need more information, please. The genus, the common name is crane's bill because the plant's fruit capsule, the seed head, closely resembles the long bill or beak of a crane. And so that's what they did. They said, it looks like the beak of a crane, and we're gonna name it after that. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I gotta make a sound effect. Let's go. Now we have Gerardia. Gerardia. It is a noun from 1851, any of a genus of often root parasitic herbs of the snapdragon family, having pink, purple, or white flowers. And how interesting that we have two plants back to back in the dictionary, at least this one. So I went to the pictures of the Gerardia, and these are pretty consistently kind of like a light, nice, purpley color. What does it say that it has other? It says pink, purple, or white. I'm mostly seeing the pink and the purple in these pictures, but I guess there's white too. And the petals, does looking at plants make me yawn? What is it about these? The petals look very rounded. Just very rounded. That one they look like hearts, but most of them look pretty rounded. So the genus is Agalinus. Root parasitic herbs. What does that mean? Does that mean that what root parasitic herbs? I don't know what that means. If you know what that means, you tell me. You tell me now. The etymology, though, says this is from John Gerard, who was an English botanist who died in 1612. So he got to name these after himself. Good for Johnny Gerard. Next is Gerbera or Gerbera. You could do the hard G or the soft G sound, either one. Gerbera, Gerbera. It is a noun from 1889. Any of a genus, got more, of the Asian, any of a genus of Asian and African composite herbs that have basal tufted leaves and are often cultivated for their showy heads of yellow, pink, or orange flowers with prominent rays. Well, I want to see some prominent rays. So let's look up pictures of the Gerbera. We had 3 plants in a row. Whoa. Yeah, these are very striking. It didn't say striking, but I said striking. Basal tufted leaves, yellow, pink, or orange. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing yellow. I'm seeing orange. I'm seeing some purples and some pinks, white, yeah, reddish, definitely red. Yeah. Those, they have long, skinny leaves and, just very bold. Some of them are pointed at the end. Some of them are rounded. Some of the petals have like lighter colors in the middle and then get darker towards the edge. So that's the Gerbera. Let's see, the genus name is Gerbera, and this is named from I don't know their first name. I don't know how to pronounce this. Traugott. Traugo. Their last name is Gerber. They were a German naturalist who died in 1743. And again, good for a person who got to name some plants after them. The Gerbera, named after Gerber. Did they also get to name the baby food? Next is gerbil. Gerbil. Let's see. You could also spell it Gerbille. The normal, the regular spelling that I'm more used to does not have the extra LE at the end. It's just gerbil. So this is a noun from 1849. I don't believe gerbils are plants. They are any of numerous old world burrowing desert rodents with long hind legs adapted for leaping. I don't really remember or think of gerbils having long legs for leaping. I mean, have seen pictures of similar rodents in the deserts. But yeah, I guess, huh? I always confuse these with hamsters. Are you like me? Do you confuse gerbils and hamsters? What's the difference? Let's look up. I want the Google to compare gerbil and hamster. Let's see. What's the difference between gerbils and hamsters? For this is from Pet MD. Let's see. Let's find some just big information. Let's see. I want just like physical differences. Here we go. What are the physical differences? Hamsters and gerbils are both small mammals and can fit into the palm of your hand. Yes, I know this. Let's see. The tails are one of the main differences between the species. Hamsters have short and stubby tails, while gerbils have long tails that grow up to 4 inches. Facial features are another noticeable difference. Gerbils have long, pointy faces like mice, while hamsters have short and wide faces. Hamsters have cheek pouches to store and hoard food, so they may look even chubbier when they're storing food. Body types are another easily distinguishing feature. Gerbils are longer and leaner, making them athletic rodents. I want to see the Olympics of gerbils. They're capable of jumping, running, and more agile maneuvers. Hamsters are also active, but are rounder with shorter legs, making them slightly less athletic. They might not get to go to the Olympics, the gerbil Olympics. Okay. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good information. Did we do good? Do you now know the differences between gerbils and hamsters? Okay. I feel like most people probably have hamsters as pets, but I think people have gerbils for pets. We had one of them when I was very young, and they had the babies, and they started eating the babies, and I know that it's a normal thing. It's an evolutionary thing that some animals do sometimes, but it was a little traumatizing for us to see that. Maybe more for my sister. I was so young. I don't know. It was traumatizing at the moment, but I think I'm okay now. What else can we say about gerbils? The genera, the genus is Gerbilus. Gerbilus. There's other related genera for the gerbils as well. The etymology says that this is from the New Latin gerbilus. That's the genera, the genus name. It is a diminutive of gerboa, spelled with a G or a J, and that means gerboa. But what is a gerboa? What? What is that thing? I guess we'll learn all about that in the future, but oh, here we go. It is a specific kind of hopping desert rodent, and they look like gerbils stretched out. They're not that's an extreme gerbil. Their legs are so long and skinny. Their ears are much longer. It's like yeah, you took a gerbil and you're like, let's just change up these things. They can run up to 15 miles per hour. They're so tiny and little. So yeah, gerboa became gerbil. They're rodents. They're related somehow. Okay, now maybe when you make that sound, you have GERD, all caps GERD. It's an abbreviation for gastroesophageal reflux disease. And that's bad. That doesn't feel good, I think, for people who have GERD. Do you have GERD? Would you like to send me an email or a voicemail or something about your experiences with GERD? Why don't you go ahead and do that? Next is gerent. 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 Noun from 1576. It is one that rules or manages. The one who is in the position of ruling and managing, taking control, managing the people. They love the power that comes with that role. They are a gerent. Why are they called a gerent? This is from the Latin verb gerere, which means to bear or carry on. And so I would say, what would I say? What would Spencer say? I would say that what they're bearing, what they're carrying is responsibility and power. And so that is why a gerent is one that rules or manages, hopefully with a sympathetic fist. Next is Gerenuk or Nook, and also Gerenic. Either one is fine. Gerenuk. The pronunciation, the first pronunciation is spelled exactly the same way as the word Gerenuk, except for the second E is the schwa to say instead of eh. Okay, so this is a noun from 1895. It is a large-eyed antelope of eastern Africa with a long neck and limbs. And, almost every single word in this episode is something visual that I would like to put on the social media. So this is going to be a very social media heavy episode. Lots of words from this episode are going into the Instagram. It is true what the dictionary said. The dictionary did not lie. They have quite long necks for their body size relative to most other similarly shaped animals like antelopes and such. Why do they have such long necks? Well, maybe it's probably to see predators. Wow, they have such a unique... And their legs are also very long and skinny. And then there's just like a rectangle body, and then a long neck, and then ears that go way out there. They're just looking. They're like, what's out there? And then some of them are standing to reach, leaves on the tops of trees and bushes and things. They like to stand. Here's a standing one. Wow. Okay, fascinating. I did not expect to see that today. Yep, gotta post these pictures on the social media. This one's standing, and they have such a small head relative to their body. It's just like, what are you looking at? I'm just doing my stuff. I'm eating my stuff. That's a Gerenuk or the Gerenic. Where does this name come from? It comes from the Somali word G-A-R-A-N-U-U-G, and a few of those vowels have accents on them. And I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I just don't know. Okay, so that's the Gerenuk. And now, I don't think we have many more words that will be that are more visual to be posted on the social media. So I think we've sort of run out, but we had a lot. That was a good run. And now we shall go to the word geriatric. Geriatric. First form, noun from 1909. I am technically not geriatric yet. Sometimes I feel like I am. But when I finish this podcast, assuming I get all the way to the end, I may very well be geriatric. Number 1. A branch of medicine that deals with the problems and diseases of old age and aging people. It says compare to gerontology. That is going to come up in not very long from now, I don't think. Would it be right over here? Yes, under my little thing. Gerontology, it is related to aging. That's all I'll say. We will keep that information for a near future episode. I think the etymology will have something to say about all of this. Okay, now we have number 2, an aged person. That's it for that. I thought there was more. Just an old person, a person who has many ages under their belt. Their belt is so long for all the years that they were alive. I just can't wait. No, I can wait. I can wait. Someday, someday I will be an aged person, and oh, what an interesting life it shall be. And I won't give any fucks about what I'm doing or what I'm saying to people because they will all be younger than me. Every single person on the planet will be younger than me. And I'll be saying, I'm geriatric, and you got to listen to what I have to say because I've seen the world. I have experienced more than all of you youngins, all of you 100-year-old youngins. Okay, etymology time. What? Why didn't you give me any etymology? Well, that's because they put it in the second form for some reason. Steve. Now we have the second form of geriatric. It's an adjective from 1926. Number 1A, of or relating to geriatrics or the process of aging. Just getting older. Oh, we're getting older every day. You're older than you've ever been, and now you're even older. And now you're even older, and now you're even older. 1B, of relating to or appropriate for elderly people. Oh, what is appropriate for elderly people? An example would be the geriatric set. The geriatric set? What the frickin' frack are you talking about, dictionary? There could have been a much simpler, better example, I think. What would be appropriate for elderly people? A geriatric phone, geriatric remote. Just thinking about how old people can't see very well or sometimes understand technology. The geriatric set. S-E-T. What's that set? I'm confused. My brain doesn't comprehend that. 2A. The synonyms are old and elderly, as in a geriatric dachshund. That dachshund. I mean, okay, fine. Let's look up a picture of a geriatric dachshund. Geriatric dachshund. Dachshund, yes. I mean, I don't think this is something that people are necessarily looking up very much, but of course, dachshunds become very old and aged, and they become geriatric. What happens is that it looks like a lot of their facial hair, their beards and goatees, it gets white. That is very common, I think, for dogs of a certain age, maybe certain breeds, to get a white face. And, maybe they're a little overweight, and maybe when you watch them move, maybe they can't move as well or as quickly. But, we got a lot of pictures of geriatric dachshunds just looking, can I sleep now? Thank you. Please don't dress me up like a hot dog. Okay, now we have to be being old and outmoded. Well, I definitely think I'm geriatric in that way. I don't know what the kids are doing. I don't think this podcast is for anybody, especially not the kids. Hey, kids, come listen to my podcast. Do you like it? The example is geriatric airplanes. Yeah, we're not using airplanes from the early 20th century anymore, or even the middle, or maybe even the end of the 20th century. No. We have newer, younger Gen Alpha airplanes to fly us around. They were promising us airplanes that had glass all the way around so you could just see all of the sky, and that hasn't happened yet. Are we ever going to get those? One day the planes we're flying in now in the year 2026 will be geriatric, and maybe just 5 or 10 years from now. No, we have better technology for planes. We don't want those. We can fit more seats in these planes. None of these old planes that have seats where people have not really enough leg room. Let's get rid of more leg room. Okay. This word is from the Greek geros, which means old age. That's just what it is. The first part of the word is just old. Lots of ages. My well, all of my grandparents definitely got to geriatric age, and many of my great grandparents did as well. I would say all but maybe one, and so I think I've got decent enough genes that may allow me to also get into the geriatric time of my life. It's going to be so great, and when I'm that age, I'm going to go to the hospital for my regular tests, and I will be seen a geriatrician. Geriatrician. It is a noun from 1926. A specialist in geriatrics. They just love hanging out with old people, studying how the body is doing. If you are a geriatrician, would you like to study me? Would you like to watch me age over many, many decades? See, okay, he's 45. This is his baseline. What's going to happen to his body as he ages? Is he going to age normally, slowly, backwards? He might. He might age backwards. Next is germ. Oh, people have feelings about germs. This is a noun from 1644, number 1A. A small mass of living substance capable of developing into an organism or one of its parts. It's a mass of living substance. I feel like that would be a good name for a band, book, movie, something. I don't know. Massive living substance. What is a living substance even? What even is that? And it can develop into an organism or just one of its parts, one of an organism parts, like a Voltron of germs coming together to create a bigger germ? 1B. The embryo with the scutellum of a cereal grain that is usually separated from the starchy endosperm during milling. Yes, I do believe I have heard germs, the word germ, used in terms of cereals, grains, but I don't know what that is. I didn't know what that was. I still don't know what it is. The embryo of a cereal grain that has the scutellum? Well, you can't get rid of the scutellum. Everybody needs the scutellum. That is, it's usually separated from the starchy endosperm during milling. All of you grain people listening are well aware of that type of germ. Now we have number 2, something that initiates development or serves as an origin, as in, the examples, no, the synonyms, rudiments and beginning. What is the early stage, the beginning of a thing, the germ of an idea? Ooh, where did that idea come from? Well, the germ of this podcast was being on Greg Simpson's podcast about They Might Be Giants called This Might Be a Podcast. I was on one of his episodes, and I bought this recorder for that, so I could do a good job of recording audio. And then I was like, well, now that I have this, I should also do a podcast. I should also get into the wide world of podcasting, because nobody's doing that, and there's a missed opportunity for dictionary podcasts. So I was like, yeah, let's do that. That was the germ. Number 3. This is the one that most people think of. The synonym is microorganism, an organism that is so tiny. You call it micro. But especially a microorganism causing disease, and we don't like those. Now, some people like to get rid of all the germs around them, lots of cleaning, lots of hand washing, and that's all very good because germs are very easily spread, and you can get those diseases and things if you're not washing hands regularly after touching certain things. But also, it's I think well known that if you are out in the world experiencing people and spaces and all those things, that you, as you experience them, you build up these immunities to those different types of germs that are out there. And so I don't know. I have mixed feelings about, ooh, do I want to just go out and get dirty and experience all of the germs that are out there? Or do I want to just wash them off and stay healthy that way? Which way is better? Which way? I don't know. Everybody's different. You gotta do what you gotta do. So, but I do wash my hands a lot. I do. Okay, now we must talk about the etymology. This is from the French germe, from the Latin germen, which is from the Latin verb gignere, which means, we've seen this before, to beget. So yeah, there's more at the word kin. So where does the thing come from? The beginning of a thing. That's really where this word comes from, because it can turn into an organism, turn into a disease, turn into an idea, or other things. Germ, 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 germ. And now we're going to move on to our last word. We have a couple different versions of this word. Is it related to germs? Is it related to the beginning of a thing? I don't think so. It's the word German. The first form of German has no capitalization, but we are going to see a version that does. German is an adjective from the 14th century. It is having the same parents or the same grandparents on either the maternal or paternal side. Whoa, what does that mean? I don't think I've seen this, or maybe I have and I don't remember. This is usually used after the noun, which it modifies, and joined to it by a hyphen. Examples would be brother German or cousin German. So what is this again? Having the same parents or the same grandparents on either the maternal or paternal side. So it seems a little redundant to put this word German after something like brother or cousin, but I guess it's just a way to be a little bit more specific. I want to look up, why do we use the word German after I don't know, family name, family something. Let's see. German as or after a family name typically serves as an identifier of origin. No. I didn't want that. I guess I'll change it to after the word brother, because that was the example that they gave. Sibling German refers to full siblings who share the same parents, derived from Old French, Germain, and Latin Germanus, full or own or born of the same mother or father. It is distinct from the country named Germany. Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. But why would you use this exactly? Because it is often used to distinguish full siblings from half siblings. Yeah, right. It's just a way to be more specific. But it feels, maybe, is it old? It is from the 14th century, so maybe it was being used a lot more then, and we just sort of don't need it because we have step sibling, half sibling, things like that. So yeah, I think it's just a little out of fashion probably. And back in the day, maybe in the 15th century, you were constantly hearing people say brother German, sister German, cousin German, those sorts of things, to say we have the same parents. Maybe it was a lot more common for people not to have the same parents, and that's why, because people would die and then a sibling would come in, and the sibling of the father, if the father died, would come in and marry the wife, and then they would have kids. So there would be a lot of half siblings, but some German siblings and some half, and got very complicated. So maybe that's why it was used. This is from the Latin Germanus, which means having the same parents. That's what it is. Now we're going to move on to the second form of German, which is a noun from the 15th century. This one is specifically obsolete, and it is a near relative. So obviously related to the first one, the first form. If you have the same parents or the same grandparents, you're pretty closely related. So I guess this was used as just a word. You'd say, they're my German? They're a German because we're a near relative? Interesting. Well, is this all related to the country somehow, like etymologically? I'm not sure, but let's talk about the first form of the word German with a capital G. All right, we have a few definitions. This is our very, very last word, and the second form will be in the next episode. And that's an okay, there's an insect in the next episode. German, noun from the 14th century. 1. A member of any of the Germanic peoples inhabiting Western Europe in Roman times. Lot of Germanic people going around in that area. 2a, a native or inhabitant of Germany. They're called Germans. And they have their own types of germs, but we have our own types of germs over here. 2b, a person of German descent. 2c, one whose native language is German and who is a native of a country other than Germany. Wait, what? If your language is German, but you don't come from the country of Germany, you are still called a German because you speak German? Well, as we've talked about in the past, the borders of countries, there's a lot of crossover sometimes, especially in Europe. There's some crossover of languages. There's some maybe versions of languages, words being used in different areas. Maybe German, the language of German crosses over into other countries. So in other countries, maybe they're like, well, we speak more German over here. Even though we're in Italy, we're speaking more German because we're just so close. And it's very nice language. But so they're native German speakers, but they're not from Germany, so they would also be considered Germans, even though they're Italians. That is a true fact. I've been there. Now we have 3a. The Germanic language spoken mainly in Germany, Austria, and parts of Switzerland, and also Italy, but I guess it's not as common as in Austria especially, and parts of Switzerland. 3b. The literary and official language of Germany. What's the unofficial language of Germany? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. Number 4 is often not capitalized. So we have 4a. A dance consisting of intricate figures that are improvised and intermingled with waltzes. So it's a type of dance, a German dance. You can't capitalize it. Well, you can, but you don't usually. Intricate figures that are improvised. Oh, very interesting. And then we have 4b, which is still often not capitalized and also chiefly Midland, and it is a dancing party, specifically one at which the German is danced. Well, that would make sense. If you have a German party and you're not dancing the German, then what are you even doing with your life? Come on, you gotta dance the German. Let's look up German dance. Let's see. Well, no, this is German dances. These are traditional German dances known for their lively communal nature, often performed Trachten in traditional costumes at festivals like Oktoberfest, including the energetic athletic Schuhplattler, which is a slapping dance. Do you just slap everybody? Also, the spinning Landler and the celebratory Maypole dances. But what I want, the actual German dance. Here we go. Also known as Deutsch or Deutscher Tanz or Deutsch. Generic term utilized in the late 18th and early 19th centuries for partner dances written in triple meter. These encompass several different types of dances, including the waltz, Landler, and Allemande. Composers of German dances frequently wrote and published them in sets of 3, 6, or 12 for use at balls. Many composers published sets of Deutsch, including Joseph Haydn, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Ludwig van Beethoven, and Franz Schubert, to name a few. Well, it didn't really go much into the specific German dance, but I think that is fine. Okay, let's have a German party. German party. You have to specify what type of German party you're having, because people could interpret that in different ways. This word is from the Middle Latin Germanus, from the Latin, which it seems like that just means having the same parents. So it seems like the name of Germany and German is from the idea of having the same parents. Why did they name themselves that? That's fascinating. All right, let's pick a word of the episode. Let's pick a word of the episode. Let's pick a word of the episode. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. We had geranium, gerardia, gerbera. That's the one. Gerbera, gerbil, gerd, gerant, geranuk or gerenik, geriatric, geriatrician, germ, German, German, and German. Well, let's see. I mean, there were some real. The geranuk is a really interesting looking antelope. But I don't know. Let's just pick geriatric as the word of the episode. One day I'm gonna be geriatric. I'm gonna go around saying, "Get off my lawn." One day I'm gonna be geriatric. Oh, nap time. That's the end of the episode, except for the part where I tell you about some movies. So let's see. The first one is I'm gonna do 2 because I have to do some ketchup here. And also mustard on this burger.
Time for the charm bomb to explode.
Let's see. Ooh, Anaconda. The new Anaconda. I saw a trailer for that, and I said yes, please. Jack Black and Paul Rudd in a remake of Anaconda, which is about a remake of Anaconda. Oh, yeah, 100%, please, and thank you. Definitely go watch that movie. And then, so that was the last day of 2025, and then I moved to my 2026 list, and the first movie I saw in 2026 was No Other Choice. This is a very good movie. Is it up for? No, it got snubbed. It got snubbed at the Oscars. In fact, they had a whole marketing thing. They were like, we're disappointed that we got snubbed. But it is a very good movie from, what part of the world? No Other Choice. Here we go. Let's give you some information. It's from Park Chan-wook. Yes, that is the writer-director. South Korean black comedy thriller. That's all you need to know. Go watch it. Please and thank you. It's about paper. It might as well just be The Office. No, that's not at all correct. All right, that is the end of the episode. Thank you so much for checking it out. You could watch it on YouTube. You could write a review. You could do all of those things. Check out the show notes for other stuff. Until next time, this has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.